But we have another amazing panel that is also including the founder of Creator Co., which is the hat that I have on here. I don't know if we can like zoom in. Can we zoom in on a logo? Is that possible? Nice. Do we see it? Okay, very nice. So I'm stoked for them to be joining. So again, we got industry leaders from Creator Co., Gen 3, and Tailored Brands to share practical strategies for leveraging influencer collaborations to drive real sales and engagement in today's competitive market. And as we know, it is very competitive, very saturated. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Vinod Varma, Yulia Shilkina, Avi Gandhi, and Amanda Karr. Woohoo! All right, good luck.
Thank you, buddy.
Well, hello, everybody. We've got an amazing panel. Thanks for joining us. We've got representatives from one of the best agencies, Gen 3, one of the best brands with Tailored Brands, and one of the best creators I know, Avi Gandhi. So we've got some fantastic perspective. We're here to talk about the future of social commerce and where it's going. And we know that more people are buying online, and that shift is now moving towards social apps like TikTok Shop. So we're going to dive into it. We're going to start with attribution woes and some things that have happened over the last couple weeks. I'll pass it off to Avi to get started on some of the attribution woes that you're seeing, because I know you've got some.
Why me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously we're talking about the honey thing, right?
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
There's a little
Getting
honey
right
thing
into
going
it?
on.
No, like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, look, I think everyone here hopefully knows kind of what's going on there, but I think the big thing this casts light on is last touch attribution, right? Like that is the core problem. Like, you know, yes, there may or may not, depending on who you ask, be some ethical issues with, you know, how Honey and Capital One and other browser extensions operate. But at the end of the day, they can do that because of last touch attribution. And, you know, from my perspective, and it should be from every brand's perspective, this isn't just a kind of conceptual problem, right? You know, I think some people might think, or some brands might think, well, doesn't matter to me who gets the credit. I'm getting the sale, so this is fine. The reality is that you want your dollars to be going to the channel that's actually driving conversions, that's actually driving your revenue. And with creators especially, creators have lots of opportunities. Creators are small businesses, and they're people that are making decisions based on the information in front of them. And so if, let's say, you spend $10,000 to drive $100,000 in revenue, and Honey or whoever takes $5,000 of that, creator only makes $5,000, they may not promote you as much as they would if they made $10,000 that they rightly should have for driving those conversions. And so this is a real problem for brands, not just a conceptual problem for the space or an issue for creators that it has largely been hyped up to be.
Yeah. What's your take?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking on the brand side, I think that it's really important for the brands to have that analytics, and it's all about how the brand sets it up with the influencer, right? So we've got the multi-touch, right? You can do a commission based on the path. You could do flat fees ahead of time. It's all about making sure that everybody is set up. Having been in this space for 20 years, you know, I've seen it evolve. It's important to have everybody there. As a brand, you want to be there for, you know, the consumer, right? You don't want it to go to a competitor, but you also need the influencers and the upper funnel and the brand awareness. So it's just really at the end of the day being able to set it up, whether you have an MMM, mixed modeling internally, if you have a great analytics team, so they're not just looking at that straight return, right? They're looking at the full funnel and everybody's getting a little piece of the pie. So I really think it's really important that if you're a brand here and you don't have that kind of already set up internally, you go back and you try to really advocate for a good analytics team to help you set you up for success.
Yeah, and Yulia, I mean, you work with over a dozen brands with their influencer program. What are you seeing? What are some of the attribution woes, and what's your take?
Yeah, and I agree. So when we've traditionally relied on last click attribution model, and it's absolutely not ideal. Multi-touch attribution is more effective because you actually assign value to each touch point along the way. but that requires more advanced tools, and and things get tricky because, especially with today's privacy changes. So one of the solutions is using first-party data, like personalized promo codes or tracking links that you equip your influencers with. But you do have to keep in mind that these promo codes could be reposted by other partners,
Right.
and it gets tricky with influencers tracking links because buyers don't usually click on that link hidden in bio. Like I don't. I would rather convert directly on the site. So we really need to ensure that we are leveraging, all sources of data, analytics from the e-commerce side, social media metrics, and even sentiments in the comments, because they are crucial in the decision-making process.
Yep. Yep. Well said. I think the touch point is like we know that there are attribution woes happening across different channels. One of the things that I'm really excited about is how social commerce fixes that and gives direct attribution to the creator, is able to reward them for that. So I think TikTok Shop is doing a fantastic job, and I would imagine that Snapchat, Pinterest, and a few others are not far behind. So excited for that seismic shift to come. And speaking of seismic shifts, would love to get your take on what are you guys seeing now that we're kind of, I think it'd probably be about 2 years, we saw the worlds of influencer and affiliate collide. That collision is still very much happening, and it's evolving quicker than the collision can actually happen. So what are some of the things you guys are seeing externally and maybe internally as well with your own organizations and businesses?
Yeah, I think brands will continue paying more attention how they repurpose UGC specifically for paid ads, because the beauty of combining influencer content with paid ads is that you get the best of both worlds. Creators create content that is, authentic, and when you amplify it through your paid ads, you reach the audiences that are far beyond this influencer's following base, and you get to include the call to action button right in the post. So, and we typically recommend our clients to start with A/B testing different types of content, because we learned that your top performing organic content is not necessarily your highest revenue driver. So we start with testing different content and then focus on what's working. And when it comes to budget allocation, we also recommend splitting it between, proven strategies and testing new ones. So if you have creators who have been, producing great results for you, so focus on that and then allocate smaller budget to test new formats, new platforms. And I'd say just don't be afraid to focus on what's working and shift your budget there. And paid ads give you this flexibility to adjust in real time, so use it to your advantage.
So seeing a trend with leveraging UGC through paid ads and paid funnels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely driving better conversions. No, it's definitely.
It's one of the good things with working with you guys too is, get really, work with your social team. You're not working, don't work against each other, work together. Not even work with a site team. Use that UGC like on your site, maybe in an email. Make sure you've got your brand messaging like down and that you're all on the same page, and then just utilize everybody's efforts. I know that's one reason why our paid social team loves that we work with you, because anytime there's UGC there, they can use it within their platforms as well. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how AI is going to be leveraged into influencer marketing and affiliate marketing. I think, we all have seen the data that smaller scale influencers, nano, micro influencers tend to outperform large scale influencers, but it's hard to get scale in a campaign without the large scale influencers. Because doing a deal with a million scale creator is a similar amount of work as doing a deal with a 10,000 scale creator. AI will and does let us change that, and that'll have knock-on effects for creators, for brands that are hard to predict. But one thing that isn't hard to predict is that it will make it a lot easier for bigger brands looking to achieve scale to work with many, many small creators and optimize around engagement and conversion, because they don't have to worry about reach anymore. And so I think that's going to be really interesting.
On the AI too, though, I think it's really important. It's going to be the tricky part, right? The authenticity, because people trust the influencer, right?
Totally.
Because they know it's authentic and it relates to them. And if you've got AI, I think that's where it's going to lack there. So it'll be
Totally,
interesting to
yeah.
see how that develops.
Yeah, I think when I think about where the value is, it's definitely, to me at least, not in necessarily the content development. I think where the value will be is in discovery, in outreach and kind of like deal making, and then in data analytics and understanding the outcomes of the campaigns. And so I think those things hopefully will leave the content authenticity untouched and the quality of the content untouched, but will let teams be much more scalable in terms of the number and types of creators that they work with, because you no longer will need to individually respond to 10 emails per partnership.
Let's riff a bit on the AI and how it's going to impact social commerce. What are what's the good, the bad, the ugly that you're seeing, and what are your predictions on how AI is going to impact social commerce?
Not necessarily AI, but in terms of predictions, I think we all expect a rise in live shopping, shoppable UGC, and direct checkout integrations across platforms. And I mean, trust will continue to be a focus with brands leveraging smaller communities and social proof. And I think ultimate focus will be on creating engaging, like hyper personalized experiences that turn social networks into your ultimate shopping destinations.
And what do you think about virtual influencers or AI influencers?
I
We,
mean,
we've tested it, and the authenticity is where it comes. Like that's for sure. So it hasn't done so well so far in the
That's
testing,
interesting.
but yeah.
That's really interesting. Do you have data on that? I would love to dig into data on that.
I think we can probably get some, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, if you don't follow Avi on LinkedIn, follow him. Like the data that he spits out is some of the best in the industry, in my opinion.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. It's true, right? We're here to give value. So in terms of we're hitting we know that there are attribution woes. Honey is a huge example of the what's wrong in that space and why we need to fix it. We know that there are seismic shifts with AI, with teams coming together, leveraging content across multiple channels and driving ROI that way, and developing your own internal models to actually see across different departments what ROI actually looks like. What do you predict are going to be, like, what's 2025? Like, what's the outlook you have? What's the advice that you're giving, Yulia, to the brands that are coming to you guys and looking for advice for usually affiliate marketing, but you're also offering influencer marketing and other services as well? What's the advice you give them?
yeah, we definitely see the merge of affiliate and influencer worlds. So we try to, equip all of our influencers with affiliate links to incentivize them to keep promoting the brand further. I would say the biggest advice is to reiterate that, repurpose your content. You already have it, so use it to your advantage. We ask our influencers to add, to leave reviews on the site. We add UGC to product pages, even including it in newsletters. So just stay flexible, and this way, even a smaller campaign can go a long way.
Yeah, totally.
Always be testing, yeah. And always be able to adapt, right? Like we don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. I know we're all investing in like TikTok Shop, but also make sure if you don't have Reddit in your plan,
Yeah.
I'd really start looking at investing there, testing there. I think that's really going to be a big thing.
Reddit,
this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone, just hands of the audience, is anyone doing content or testing on Reddit? Nice.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
You should be.
Yeah.
So high level, I'm stuck on the AI point here too. I think it's interesting. Like I think high level, 2025 is the year where the flood starts. What I mean by that is, I'm not the only one saying this, but I've been saying this for a while. Like what AI is going to do is equivalent to what happened with search, right? So once SEO became a standard practice, the internet was flooded with listicles and all these SEO optimized articles. And so whenever you're searching for the answer to a question, you don't necessarily arrive at like an actual human's experience response. You arrive at like a search optimized listicle or article with very basic research. that may give you some usable information, but it may not be what you're looking for, right? So like, for example, like when I had my kid, I was looking for strollers. I wanted to find like a human being, like another dad or mom who had, tried a bunch of strollers and had opinions. And instead, I found a bunch of articles that like basically pulled descriptions and reviews from Amazon. And that's what's happening. That's what's happened in search, right? And so, like, I mean, I think everyone can agree that the quality of search results has decreased due to the increase in quantity of search results, or of content for those search results. We're going to see the same thing happen with social content because of AI, right? The point you were making, like, authenticity is going to be more key than ever because people are going to be, like, at first people will think it's interesting. There'll be this kind of like spike in like, oh, like look at these cool videos of like crazy things that I've never seen before. Eventually people are going to start to be disillusioned with it, right? Because eventually they're going to not know what's real and what's not, or they're going to have trouble discerning what's good. And so they're going to start to look for real people who they can connect with and identify with and trust. Whether it's entertainment content or educational content or lifestyle content, it's going to be about trust. And so for marketers especially, I think it'll be important to keep in mind that to not get distracted by the shiny ball of AI. Like, there will absolutely be effective marketing tactics that make use of it. But if you're building for a long term, if you're building a brand and you also want to drive conversions over the long term and grow your business, trust is going to be everything.
Yeah. And we were kind of riffing on this geopolitical mess that you were alluding to. Any comments on that?
Oh, man. Obviously talking about TikTok. Look, like, TikTok Shop is the face of social commerce at the moment, which is kind of ironic because Amazon got there first, actually, you could argue. And, of course, all of these other platforms like LTK and ShopMy. I think with TikTok, who knows, right? Like, there are lots of speculation, could go either way. I'm not going to make the call right now.
Make a call.
Place a bet.
I think that I think it probably goes away. I think there's a lot of like political show and cozying up right now, but as we have seen in the past, like, that doesn't necessarily last once one or both parties realize they're not going to get exactly what they want.
Fair. Think you sent a couple goosebumps.
I would
few
place
backs.
a bet too, though.
Yeah?
And that's what I'm saying. Always be ready. Always be
Yeah.
adapting. Cause
Okay. You
Right.
heard it here, Creator Economy Live. 2 experts in the space. Who's using TikTok Shop? Show of hands. Yeah. Who's bought off TikTok Shop? Wow. Interesting. All right. Very cool.
The thing I'll add to that, though, is there are great alternatives. And I think consumers will find their alternatives. The reality is that, like, the vast majority of products on TikTok Shop, and this is by TikTok's own admission, this is something they're trying to solve, are bad. Like, I've purchased twice on TikTok Shop. Both times the products did not work. And I'm sure there are products that work on there. It is what it is. But, like, it's right now not a premium place.
Yeah.
And if they stick around, they are going to need to fix that. And I know people there that are actively working on solving that problem. But in the meantime, if you are selling what you consider a premium product, there are a ton of great alternatives. Obviously Amazon, but also LTK, also ShopMy, also name your creator affiliate platform. And a lot of those platforms are seeing the writing on the wall for TikTok and investing in replacing it. Like, if you look at LTK, and I've been meaning to make a video about this, so I'll make the call here first. Like, LTK is gunning for TikTok Shop right now. Yeah. They launched video in their app. They are actively promoting how well native video in their app works at conversions. They're pushing creators to make content that's not just selling stuff. In fact, they used to have a requirement that you sell something to post a video. Now they removed that. LTK is trying to become a short-form video app.
What are your thoughts on, and Yulia, what's your take on TikTok Shop? Going away, staying?
Can you believe I've never bought anything of TikTok Shop.
Really?
And yes, and I work with them. I mean,
We're Canadian. We drive like 20 minutes to the border to place our orders and then pick them up later. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people are not gonna stop shopping, so the
Yep.
attention will just shift elsewhere. What it's gonna be, LTK, more advanced model, something else.
Snapchat?
The time will show.
My bet's on Snapchat. I'm just going to say that.
You better
Snapchat?
believe that somebody's out there creating the next thing that's going to be the next TikTok, right? Like,
Yep. I think
that, so.
Snapchat's got the user base and has a similar interface, and I think they could take a run at it.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get out of their own way. This has been Snapchat's problem for like a decade, right? It's like Evan is more focused on being cool than on building a big sustainable or a big high growth business.
Yeah.
And yeah, at some point the kids got to grow up.
Yeah. Hey, fair. Nice. Good take. Yeah, this is what we're here for. Let's get into it. And so I want to see if we can maybe save five minutes for questions from the audience. So we'll quick riff here on advice. If you had to give your 1 to 2 top learnings when it comes to working with creators on social commerce with the aim of driving conversion, what would you know, if you're talking to an affiliate marketer or a brand, what's the advice you would give them? And Avi, maybe on both sides, to a creator and to a brand.
Basics, build these relationships with creators, respect them, respect their time, do realize that they have to be compensated for their time, and just be nice, and again, repurpose the UGC that they produce for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree. I mean, we're partnership marketing, right? It's all about the relationships. That's what we're based on. So definitely making sure, again, that everybody is getting attributed and respected, and that you're working and making sure when you're setting up your campaigns that that you're covering all your bases. But then also making sure you're working with your internal teams.
Yep.
Get the most out of what your campaigns are doing, and then always be adapting, testing, pivot. It's the basis of our whole channel. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, affiliate for creators has grown so much over the last 5-6 years. And it wasn't really a meaningful channel like a decade ago. When influencer marketing was coming up. I think and I think it'll only continue to grow, right? Especially as the creator economy grows and more people become creators, either as a side hustle or with the aim of becoming full-time creators. As that happens, with more companies entering the space, there's more competition. The way to stand out to creators is, to be very direct about it, it's to pay more, to have the higher commissions, to be willing to break off more for them. Because at the end of the day, creators are solopreneurs mostly. Every time they do a partnership, every time they decide to sell something, they're looking at the math in their head. They're saying, well, if I can get 10% of this and I can sell 1,000 of them, and that's $25, and I'm going to make $2,500, whatever it is, right? Yeah. And you want to be the bigger number when they put you next to your competitor product. That's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, fair. No, great takes, guys. That's awesome, and we'd love to open it up for the audience. And I know while they pass the mic around, feel free to fire any questions. But yeah, great takes, guys. So quick advice, leverage UGC to drive conversions. We've got some data that suggests UGC converts about 3.2 times better than brand or studio created content. So definitely experiment there. Work and collaborate with your internal teams. There's more ROI than just what you're looking at in the affiliate space. Spreading your efforts to other departments is going to help drive ROI and be able to see that across the company. And treat creators fairly, right? And they're solopreneurs, and so we have to look at them and treat them like partners and not listicles and just publishers that are doing blogs all day. Questions? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey.
So, hi. We're a cannabis and CBD brand here to meet influencers and affiliates. And we've, over the past 6 months, been testing just sending out a bunch of free product to niche influencers for free, as well as doing paid partnerships with people that have bigger followings. Is there some sort of strategy or mix that, in your guys' experience, has worked better? Because on the ones that we just sent out for free was maybe like 300 people, and we had really bad results. And I'm wondering if there's something that you guys are looking for. Like, I noticed some audiences are more transactional. Like, they're asking questions about purchases versus kind of peer-related conversations. But I'm wondering from your guys' experience how you can define what strategy is best and how to target the right people.
Yeah, I would say going back to the authenticity, give the influencer as much leeway as they can of what they want to promote. I mean, you may have things like sometimes I'll give like a list, or mine, it's retail, right? But like we may have like in spring, these are our core 50 products, but then let that influencer decide what they want to promote, because at the end of the day, their followers want them to be authentic to what they actually like, and feel like you'll see a better conversion rate there.
Avi, you get a lot of cannabis gifts at home?
I'm an investment in cannabis company. I'm curious, what is your strategy for the smaller creators? You said you're sending them free product. Then what? Are you saying make a video? Are you saying do whatever you want? Are you giving them a cut of their sales? Like, what is the actual?
So we had created a sort of pitch deck that was really poorly received to try and make it a little bit more formal, and found that just like a text and being more casual was working better. We are letting them pick their product because I noticed some people, it's more of like a mom community with gummies and some more with flour, but we let them pick. And sorry, your question was how have we been?
Yeah, are you offering them anything other than the free product? Are they getting
Yeah,
like a
so
cut of
we've been
sales?
offering them affiliate commission codes. A lot of them we found don't want to use that because it comes in as inauthentic. So we've tried to like make the codes look like a sale that they're just informing people about, rather than their like affiliate code is one strategy, but we still have a hard time getting them to use it. Because I think, again, there's this balance of promotional stuff and then being true to your audience that has been a delicate balance. But we've paid people outright before. We've seen results as well and found a few creators where that's worked out. So we're just trying to see what sticks. And I'm like, am I getting this all wrong? So I'm hoping to.
Well, not all influencers are created equal, right? You're going to have the more deal ones, or
Yeah.
the ones that are, more high end. And
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking too. It's like maybe there's a alignment issue in terms of the mindset of the creators you're going after. You're going after ones who are more like artists, like artiste, if you will, and any creator that's like I don't want to promote it this way because of the authenticity thing, probably isn't making a living by promoting products.
Yeah.
And so are there creators that align with the audience that you're going after who do make a living promoting products? And can you find those and partner with those?
Yeah, great advice. And I would say, if you're sticking around, come chat with Yulia here. She might have some strategies that can help you guys.
And I was just gonna say about promo codes. So we found that influencers love when you include their name in the promo code, and we personalize it for every single creator that we work with, and they include it all the time. They love it, yeah. And then you can track and you can attribute code redemption to that specific creator.
Great point. Great take.
Yo. Hey.
Hey.
Quick statement and then a question. In response to what you said earlier about let me actually introduce myself. I run an agency for TV personalities where we do collabs and brand influencing, et cetera. And if you were talking about standing out from the crowd when you're approaching an influencer, I might get groans from the brands and yeses from the influencer side, but I'm seeing an increase in affiliate links and rev share deals and commission base. If you want my attention, you're going to approach me with a flat fee, basically. That's far preferable to me. And so,
well, you're a talent representative,
right? Of course, and I'm trying to get the best deal possible. But at the same time,
I used to be in your chair too, and I also ignored every affiliate deal. But
yeah, so that's.
But then the brands would go straight to the influencer, and they would do it without telling me, and then they made the money, and I got no cut.
Oh,
so that was
yeah. I don't have that problem, but
yeah. Well, you got TV influencers, so that's a little different.
It is. It's a different space. It's a little more, I guess.
Well, they're
higher quality sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to.
I think that like TV creators' mindsets are that they need their agents. I think very different than like a solopreneur who came up online. Anyways.
No, absolutely. But it's just a point I wanted to bring up because to me, if you approach me with flat rate, you've got my attention. If you approach me with affiliate or product trade out, I mean, it better be a really expensive product.
Yeah.
So my question for you guys is, if we make the assumption that TikTok is going away, or at least will change forms, which may or may not be an accurate assumption, but if we do, TikTok had a period where driving follower growth was almost easy, right? It was parabolic. And we've definitely gotten to a point where it's no longer in that same growth phase. if we're looking at TikTok potentially going away, what platforms or apps do you guys see that are on the cusp of going parabolic, where you can post just about anything and get 100,000 followers in a week, like you used to be able to for TikTok?
So, sorry, can I take this one?
Take it. Well, we'll all take it. I have a take. We have different opinions, so you'll get them.
Okay.
All right.
So first of all, TikTok went parabolic because they spent $1 billion a year for 3 years on marketing, including like paying creators to join the platform and promote it. So that's a little known fact, but it is a fact. Nobody else does that. That's not something that Western companies do, especially Western startups. The mindset is like organic growth. So that's something to keep in mind about what I'm about to say, which is that there isn't one. I think the age of mega platforms is over. I think that we are going to have a variety. We're going to have fragmentation, right? There's going to be specific platforms for specific communities, needs, use cases, however you want to describe it. So like LTK for lifestyle shopping, and Twitch for gamers, and fill in the blanks as you go, right? And we're already starting to see that pick up a little bit. And so I think from that perspective, it's going to be about figuring out where is the audience that you're selling to, and which platforms are you best suited to reach them through.
Because I think, my opinion, Snapchat, quick answer, I think is in the running too. I think that there are parallels between follower growth velocity and how many people are actually on the platform. And when you're starting out, it's a lot easier because there's less competition for those eyeballs. So I think there are some parallels with that. I know we're a little bit over time. There's a big exclamation part, but
He said pretty much what I was going to say, like meet you where your customers are, find out what those platforms are.
Yeah. And guys, for anyone that hasn't had a chance to ask questions, we'll be here. We'll come out the back there, and feel free to track us down. We'd be happy to chat with you guys. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Let's give a round of
Thanks,
applause
guys.
for our amazing panel.